Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode 161. This is reviewing episodes 48 to 52 of Gorenger. Now, this one we have 5 more monsters. And I'll get to the basic interesting thing with this one. Now, the 5 monsters we have here are Camera Mask, Horn Bone Mask, Iron Trap Mask, Gunman Mask, and Teleport Mask. Camera Mask, basically the whole thing with this one is about stealing fuel. Yep, this special fuel that Eagle had basically developed, and of course, the Black Hearts Army really wanted to get their hands on it, so they tend to basically steal trucks, and if they use it for bad stuff, they basically will, cause destruction in Japan. Then in the end, they do recover the oil, and of course, the monster himself is defeated. Yes, but the camera monster, by the way, they defeat him by shutting his camera lens. Yep, that's simple what they use. In the case of Horn Mask, now the whole thing with this guy is, get this, getting their hands on a robot known as Franken 1, and also disguise himself as a member of Eagle in order to basically get their hands on it. Yeah, for some reason they thought this would be a good idea to do. Yeah, and I also have where this is a funny bit in the episode where the green dress up as basically a Frankenstein ripoff. That was a funny bit there, and I thought this was a really cool episode. Now, in the case of episode 50, which, thank you, basically I've gotten to episode 50. Now, normally you probably think 50. Normally this would be either the final episode, the penultimate episode, or basically third or fourth last episode of the whole entire Super Sentai series. Nope, we have 30, at this point you have 34 more episodes left to go when it comes to Gorenger. Or in the case of Changeman, it's actually about 5 episodes of this one. But basically, it ends like gnawing at the episode 50. This one, nope. Now, in the case of this one, per se, this one mostly is framing the Vardine for attacking troops. That's simple what it is. And the monster for this one is basically the Iron Trap Mask. Yeah, or basically it's kind of like one of these poacher traps. That's literally his head. Yeah, very interesting idea. Basically to frame their flying vehicle for a crime they did not commit. That was a really interesting idea. And it does play into basically Blue Ranger's obsession with the machine. Yeah, and of course he would defend the machine, and of course they say it's grounded, but they're able to use the fire tank, no problem. Even though that comes with it, but they're able to use it, no problem. And of course, at one point I believe they try to kidnap the commander, but he gets rescued anyways. I think it was the second time in the series we kidnapped. But this was definitely a good episode when it comes to story-wise in Blue Ranger. In the case of these next 2 monsters, these ones are so bizarre. Gunman Mask. The whole thing, this guy, he's a freaking bank robber. He steals money. And apparently he has to raise 50 billion yen to get their hands on some bombs. Yep, and apparently they take from the actual vault that Black Cross Army, of course, they do mention, I think the Fuhrer does bring up the fact their vault has got 30.3 billion yen. Which is interesting, the fact they bring up basically this. And also at one point they thought that the safe belonged to the Gorengers. That actually had money. It really doesn't. It's empty. It's been empty for a long time. But interesting how they use money. And of course they're all using the Veritank to make, money, of course. Which is a very interesting idea. I like the whole money aspect. And of course they do kind of get their hands on it. Of course they mentioned, this Mr. X apparently is a merchant of death. Okay. So, they do get their hands on it, but they don't really use it very much at all. They actually do get hands, but they don't really use it. Yeah, and as what happens with it, don't really know because the monster was destroyed. Oh, by the way, they defeat this monster by switching its head. Yes, seriously, that's how they beat it. Also, the funny bit with the camera monster, they actually steal his staff, which is literally, because he's an old-fashioned camera, basically we have to, it's one of these ones that it's not instant, but very, it's like a 19th century one, which I thought was a really cool idea. But the last one, oh boy, this is by far one of the most weirdest ones I've seen. And this actually is a take from a monster from Kamen Rider, The telephone monster. Yes, seriously, a telephone monster. Yes. The plan is to, well, the plan, oh, they already got the plan in motion. They have to disable they have to figure a way to make sure they don't disable the new Gorenger machines, which that's actually not something that would happen with episode 54 because we're getting toward the end of Volcano Massacre's era with episode 52. So, of course, Gorenger figure out this is a leak, and it turns out none of the people work for Eagle or the Gorenger organization. It's actually the fact that Telephone Mass has tapped their phone line. And they had to send false information to basically prove it, and it worked. Eventually, thanks to a spy, 0079, they figured out, though, thanks to his riddle, of course, it's not a typical eco code. Turns out it's actually one of those old, it's a phone code. Voice things into, I think it was like Far East Electronics, that's apparently what their base is, so they managed to get there. And then they defeat the monster by, well, having him tell, and of course, this is a funny bit in the episode because he transformed because he has a telephone. You have a guy who's completely unrelated to the plot, just randomly calls up his girlfriend using a telephone mask. Of course, he doesn't know it's a monster. And he kisses the end part of the talking part. And of course, the guy has to wipe it up because he finds it disgusting. Which I agree, I find it disgusting too. I had to bring it up because it's one of the most funniest bits of the episode. But really good episodes. Nothing really bad about these episodes at all. Nothing really out there per se. If you think about it, in the case of only you have like one character-focused episode, and that's basically episode 50, which definitely enjoyed it. Now, with this particular, with discussing episode 52, I have roughly 2 more left to go for Volcano Mask, but he has one more monster. This monster I have been so looking forward to discussing this monster because this monster actually popped up. Has popped up more times than any other monster ever in the history of the series. I'll discuss it later on. Yep. So yeah, that's the particular review. Stay tuned for a little bit for my review for my Comic Corner, and then eventually I'll get a chance to talk about Spy X Family. Yep. Next video. Bye.